The letter slipped from Min's trembling fingers and fluttered into the muddy roadside ditch. He lunged after it. No, 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 no. His sandals splashed through the rainwater as he grabbed the soaked envelope before it drifted away. For a moment, he simply stared at the university crest printed at the top. His heart hammered against his chest. This was it. 3 years of studying by candlelight. 3 years of waking before sunrise. 3 years of watching his widowed mother work herself to exhaustion. With shaking hands, he tore the envelope open. His eyes raced across the page. Then they stopped. He couldn't breathe. He read the sentence again and again. Then tears filled his eyes. I got in, he whispered. A laugh burst out of him. I got in. The young man sprinted to the village road, splashing through puddles, clutching the letter above his head. I got in. Mama, I got in. People turned to watch him race past. Old women smiled. Children chased after him. By the time he reached their small wooden house, he was soaked from head to toe. His mother, Lynn, was standing outside hanging wet clothes on a line. Mama! She turned. Before she could speak, Min wrapped his arms around her. What happened? She gasped. He shoved the letter into her hands. She unfolded it carefully. The moment she reached the acceptance paragraph, her eyes widened. For several seconds, she simply stared. Then tears began rolling down her cheeks. You did it, she whispered. Mama, I did it. You did it. No, Min said, shaking his head. We did it. Lynn pulled him into her arms. The rain continued falling around them, but neither noticed. That night, after the village had gone quiet, Min sat beside his mother under the dim glow of an old lamp. The acceptance letter rested between them. It won't be easy, Lynn said softly. I know. The city is expensive. I'll work. You'll study. I'll do both. She smiled, just for a second. Then the smile faded. Min noticed. Mama? Yes. What is it? Nothing. Mama? She looked away. For years, she had hidden her worries from him. But tonight was different. The tuition, she admitted quietly. I don't know how we'll manage it. The room fell silent. Min looked down at the floor. He had known this moment would come. Dreams were expensive, and they had almost nothing. The following morning, he woke before sunrise. His mother's sleeping mat was empty. Strange. She was always home at that hour. He searched the house. Nothing. Confused, he stepped outside. A neighbor passing by slowed down. Looking for your mother? Yes. The woman hesitated, then pointed toward the village market. She left before dawn. Min frowned. Why? The woman sighed. You should ask her. Something about her tone made his stomach tighten. Hours later, he found out his mother had sold the last pieces of jewelry she owned. They weren't worth much. A bracelet from her wedding, a necklace his father had given her before he died, the only valuables she had left. When Min confronted her that evening, she tried to smile, but he saw the redness in her eyes. You sold them. They were just things. They were Dad's. They helped pay your tuition. Mama, they were just things. No, they weren't. Lynn stepped closer. Listen to me. Tears glistened in her eyes. Jewelrist sits in a box. She placed her hand against his chest. But your future lives here. Min's throat tightened. He couldn't find words. Months later, he stood at the bus station. A single suitcase rested beside him. Everything he owned fit inside it. The city bus waited with its engine running. Villagers gathered to say goodbye. Lynn stood silently among them, trying to be strong, trying not to cry, failing. Min hugged her tightly. I'll make you proud. You already have. I'll come home every month. You don't have to. I want to. You need to focus on your studies. I'll still come. She smiled through her tears. Then she reached into her pocket and handed him a small cloth pouch. What's this? Emergency money. Mama, you need this. She shook her head. You need it more. The bus driver called out. Last boarding. Min's eyes filled. I love you, Mama. Lynn cupped his face. I know. I'll make all your sacrifices worth it. Her voice broke. You already have, my son. As the bus pulled away, Min looked through the window. His mother remained standing there, growing smaller, 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 until she disappeared from sight. He didn't know it then, but that promise would soon be tested in ways neither of them could imagine. The city swallowed Min whole. The buildings seemed to touch the clouds. The streets never slept. The noise never stopped. For the first few weeks, excitement carried him forward. Every lecture felt like a step closer to the future he had dreamed about. Every night, he called his mother. Mama, you should see this place. She laughed softly through the phone. Is it really that big? It's bigger than 10 villages put together. Then don't get lost. I won't. And are you eating? Mama, that's not an answer. He laughed. Yes, I'm eating. Good. Their conversations became the brightest part of his day. Whenever he felt overwhelmed, hearing her voice grounded him. But life in the city moved fast. Too fast. Soon classes became harder. Then came part-time jobs. Then internships. Then new friends. Then opportunities. The calls became shorter. A few months later, his phone buzzed during a business networking event. Mama, he stared at the screen. Around him, wealthy investors and company executives exchanged business cards. His supervisor leaned over. Min, come meet these people. The phone continued vibrating. He hesitated, then declined the call. I'll call her later. Later became tomorrow. Tomorrow became next week. When he finally called back, guilt tugged at him. Sorry, Mama. I've been busy. It's all right. You sure? Of course. Something about her voice sounded different, tired, but Min ignored it. The following year changed everything. His internship turned into a full-time position. His salary increased. His confidence grew. People began noticing him. The poor village boy was becoming a successful man. One evening, he attended an upscale dinner with colleagues. The restaurant overlooked the city skyline. The food cost more than his mother earned in a month. His phone buzzed again. Mama, his friend glanced at the screen. You still talk to your mother every day? The table laughed lightly. Min forced a smile. Not every day. You should enjoy life. Another colleague joked. Exactly, someone added. You're successful now. For reasons he couldn't explain, embarrassment crept into his chest. He silenced the phone. Again, that night, he didn't call back. The next morning, a message waited. Hope you're doing well. I just wanted to hear your voice. That should have hurt. But instead, he told himself, I'll call later. Weeks passed, then months. His visits home became rare. At first, he missed one monthly trip. Then 2. Then 6 months passed without returning. Whenever his mother asked when he was coming, he had the same answer. Soon. How soon? Just after this project. Another project arrived. Then another. One rainy evening, Min stood in his luxurious apartment staring at the city lights. His promotion letter lay on the kitchen counter. Senior manager. At 29. The achievement should have made him happy. Instead, he felt strangely empty. His phone rang. Mama, he sighed, then answered. Hello. Her voice sounded weaker than usual. When are you coming home? Soon. You always say soon. Mama, I'm working. I know. I'm doing all of this for us. Silence. Then she spoke softly. I don't need your money, Min. What? I just miss my son. The words landed harder than he expected. Mama, do you remember the mango tree behind our house? He frowned. What? The one you used to climb. Why are we talking about a tree? She chuckled. You're right. Forget it. The conversation ended shortly after. Min returned to work. Yet her question lingered in his mind. The mango tree. He hadn't thought about it in years. A week later, he received a call from an unfamiliar number. Hello, is this Min? Yes. The voice belonged to an elderly neighbor from the village. Immediately, dread filled his chest. What's wrong? Your mother collapsed. Everything inside him froze. What? She fainted at the market. The world tilted. Is she okay? They've taken her to the clinic. His heartbeat thundered. When did this happen? This morning. Why wasn't I told sooner? The old woman hesitated. Then came words that shattered him. She didn't want us to worry you. For several seconds, Min couldn't speak. Images flooded his mind. The missed calls, the ignored messages, the promises, the excuses, his mother's voice. I just miss my son. A sharp pain twisted through his chest. What did the doctor say? He whispered. We don't know yet. Min grabbed his keys. His hands were shaking so badly, he almost dropped them. As he rushed toward the door, his eyes landed on a framed photograph sitting on a shelf. It showed a younger version of himself standing beside his mother beneath a mango tree. Both were smiling. Both looked happy. He stared at the photo. Then tears filled his eyes. For the first time in years, success felt completely worthless. The drive home became a blur. Every kilometer felt too slow. Every traffic light felt unbearable. And deep inside, a terrifying question echoed louder and louder. Had he waited too long? By the time Min reached the village, the sun was beginning to set. He barely remembered the journey. All he could think about was one thing. Please be all right. The clinic stood at the edge of the village. Small, old, familiar. The moment he stepped inside, he saw her. His mother lay on a narrow bed near the window. Her eyes were closed. Her face looked thinner than he remembered. Older, too. For a moment, Min couldn't move. Guilt crashed into him like a wave. How had he not noticed? How had he been so busy building a life that he failed to see the woman who had given him one? Mama? Her eyes slowly opened. The second she saw him, they filled with tears. Min! He rushed to her side. I'm here. She smiled weakly. You came. The words shattered him. Not thank you. Not I knew you would. Just, you came. As though she had been unsure. As though she had spent months wondering whether her son would still choose her. Tears streamed down Min's face. I'm sorry. Don't cry. Mama, I'm sorry. He fell to his knees beside her bed. I should have come sooner. You were busy. No. His voice cracked. No, I wasn't busy. She gently touched his hair, just like she used to when he was a child. The gesture broke whatever remained of his composure. I ignored your calls. Silence. I missed visits. Silence. I kept saying later. Her eyes softened. But you're here now. The next morning, the doctor delivered good news. Exhaustion, stress, poor nutrition, nothing life-threatening. She would recover. The relief nearly brought Min to tears again. For the first time in years, he turned off his work phone. No emails, no meetings, no projects, no excuses, just family. Over the following days, he remained in the village, and slowly, he began seeing things he'd been too blind to notice before. One afternoon, he visited the market. An elderly vendor smiled when she recognized him. You're Lin's son. Yes. Your mother is a remarkable woman. Min smiled politely. The woman shook her head. You don't understand. What do you mean? The vendor pointed toward a small food stall. There were days she skipped meals. His smile vanished. What? She said she wasn't hungry. The woman looked away. We all knew she was saving money for your education. Min felt his stomach drop. Later that day, another villager stopped him. Your mother worked through a fever once. What? She refused to rest. The man laughed sadly. She said her son was going to university. More stories followed, one after another. Sacrifices, struggles, sleepless nights, hardships. Every person in the village seemed to know pieces of his mother's story. Everyone except him. That evening, Min found himself standing behind the house. The old mango tree was still there, larger now. Its branches stretched wide across the fading sky. He remembered climbing it as a boy, remembered eating mangoes beneath its shade, remembered laughing with his mother. As he stared at the tree, footsteps approached. Lin joined him. For a while, neither spoke. Then Min finally asked, Mama, why did you ask me about this tree? She smiled. Do you remember planting it? His brow furrowed. I was 6. You cried because the seed wouldn't grow immediately. Despite everything, he laughed. I did. You checked the soil every day. She chuckled. You wanted fruit after a week. They both laughed. Then her expression softened. It took years before that tree gave us anything. Min looked up at the branches. Heavy with fruit, it was worth the wait. Yes, a lump formed in his throat. Suddenly, everything became clear. The sacrifices, the patience, the years, the love. His eyes filled with tears. You planted the tree. Lynn looked at him. What? My life. His voice trembled. You planted it. The tears he'd been fighting finally escaped. I spent years enjoying the fruit and forgot who planted the tree. His mother began crying too. Min wrapped his arms around her. For several moments, neither could speak. Years of distance disappeared beneath that old mango tree. Years of regret, years of neglect, years of love waiting patiently to be remembered. After a long silence, Min smiled through his tears. I want to come home more. You don't have to. I want to. She laughed softly. Then I'll make your favorite soup. Good. And you'll actually eat this time. I promise. They both laughed. And for the first time in years, Min felt complete. The success, the money, the promotions, none of them compared to this moment. Standing beside the woman who had given everything so he could become who he was. And that is why the Vietnamese proverb says, when eating fruit, remember the one who planted the tree. The proverb reminds us that behind every success lies a sacrifice. Behind every achievement stands someone who believed in us, supported us, taught us, or carried us when we could not walk alone. We may enjoy the fruits of our lives today, but we should never forget the hands that planted the seeds. Who planted the tree that helped you become who you are today? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this story and want more powerful tales inspired by timeless wisdom from cultures around the world, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Echoes of the Wise, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next journey into the echoes of ancient wisdom.